Hi all, Hipper here. Today I have a good video on how to win the Sleeping Giant map using the legendary cruiser Alaska. And if you've seen my map tactics video as well, then this will be straightforward. Alright, so here we are in Alaska on Sleeping Giant. Now if you watched my map tactics video for this particular map, you know that I advocate to stay at A and B and just defend C. If you can take it, of course, go for it. But if it's defended, just stay in at the periphery and keep the enemy busy, while the rest of the team takes A and then B. That seems to work really well on this map here. And this map is a perfect example of a really good way to win on this map. Now I'm not divisioned or anything. I'm just like randomly in this match, but people on my team seem to agree with the way I play, and it turns out really well for us here. So I'm gonna dedicate myself in this game to make sure nobody gets through the mountain range between B and C. And Alaska is perfect for that, so I'm really happy that when I picked this ship I actually got this map. Because there's nothing better than finding a spot like this behind a little cliff where you can sit and just pound away at the enemy. I mean, that's what Alaska does best. It's a kind of a siege ship. It's not so much an assault ship. Like I actually agree with Spartan Elite 43, for example, that Chambord is the ultimate assault ship. So if you try to play Alaska that way, you won't do well. Like Alaska needs cover, and it needs to a focused target, especially because of the really long reload. And in this game we have a few legendaries on each team, and that always makes it, well, sometimes exciting, and sometimes it makes it extremely boring. But actually in this game the legendaries seem to be pushing in, so it makes it a little bit more interesting. So if you look at my team over on C, you can see that they're not actually trying to take C. They're waiting to see what the enemy does, and then they are like keeping their broadsides safe. And at the same time, I'm sitting here and I'm making good use of someone spotting this Yamato here for me, so I can get some cheap shots in. And cheap shots, that's pretty much Alaska in a nutshell, isn't it? You're really relying on your team and the ship, and it's a second line ship mostly, and you'll be sitting and you'll be taking shots that you haven't actually lined up yourself or done anything to actually make those shots possible. You're just taking advantage of what other people do, and that's one of the reasons I don't really like Alaska that much. It's a very reactive ship. Proactive in this ship, it's pretty hard. So I'm running out of targets down there now, and in Alaska you need to have your guns firing all the time if you can. That's your job pretty much. And I just fire off my radar just in case there's a destroyer in range. I'm pretty much within range of both caps, so just in case, but I don't really seem to get any, unfortunately. So now I will guard this entrance here instead, because the other one is pretty well guarded. And if you look at the battleships again at sea, see that very nice line they have created there? The 4 of them, all bow tanking, none of them showing broadside to the enemy. It's a perfect setup. There's no one is getting through that way. And if I can sit here and keep the enemy from taking B through the mountain range here, then we've won this battle. If the enemy takes C, that's fine, doesn't matter. As long as we keep A and B, we will win. As long as we can keep them from breaking through the mountain chain. And you can see that Yamato right there, he wants to break through. He's just waiting for the opportunity. but he knows that I'm here, and that's what I mean by a siege ship. That nobody wants to show broadside to an Alaska at this range, and that's exactly what he'll have to do if he pushes through. So that's why I pretty much got him checked here. But then on the other hand, that's not really gonna give us anything if we just sit here and look at each other and don't do anything. So at some point, one of us is gonna have to make a move. But to everybody's surprise, it turns out that it's actually the Russian cruiser that makes the first move instead. I can see on the map that he's trying to move in, and I'm not gonna let anyone through here. If we do that, we'll probably lose, or at least have to play a lot harder to win this battle here. As you can see, we still got the enemy isolated on C. We have a single battleship over at A, but it shouldn't really present much trouble. So I'm just gonna go around like this so the Yamato can't actually shoot me. I hope. And then last minute, I'm gonna change my focus on the Kutuzov instead. Like I said, I cannot let him through. And I'm outside of the Yamato's guns now. And I have my agile build on this Alaska, so torps are not really an issue for me. So now we're just gonna give him all 9 shots there, and get absolutely nothing out of that. So now he's gonna show broadsides. He's gonna try to get off his second bank of torps. Of course, we're like relying on that, so I just need to get one shot at him at this distance. There he goes, and because we have a nice agile build here with good speed and good rudder, these 5 torps here, they don't really present much of a challenge. Now, if there's one thing I must critique, it is that I think 3 battleships would be more than enough to hold Cap C, and then the remaining cruisers and destroyers could possibly go and help out at A now that it's getting capped. But I mean, you can't have everything, I guess. And I'm more than happy with the way this battle is progressing. So unfortunately, I have to show broadside here. I have to turn, and I don't time it as well as I wanted to. I thought his reload would be longer. He must have a very fast reload build, that guy. So I take a bit of damage there, but it's okay. I don't want to be chasing that Odin. That's not what I'm here for. I have to get back and make sure nobody gets through the mountain chain. And it does hit hard, Alaska. You'll have to give it that. The guns are great, except for a bit wonky dispersion there. It's almost battleship-like. And now we get a nice shot at the Yamato here. But we can't really stay because he's got us spotted, so unfortunately we'll have to run away. And again, with the agile build, we don't have to worry about his shields. Now I gotta get back to guard my entrance there. As you can see, that Yamato is inching forward, so I think he's going to make a try for it, as you can see. So we'll have to just target him on purpose. So in case, it's probably unlikely, but in case he has ingenious, he knows that I'm targeting him and that he shouldn't try to go through. Because if he actually went through, I would probably lose a one-on-one with a Yamato, unless I could citadel him right off the bat. So it's better just to, again, like I said before, play the siege role and try to scare people away in your gigantic warship here, but it works pretty well. So again, we push the Yamato back, and now there's a little bit more ships behind me, so it's even harder for him to push through. And as you can see, we've pretty much kept the enemy, at least the majority of the enemy, on the C side of this map, while we have been taking care of everybody else at A and B. And in my opinion, that's the way you win this map. So now this Yamato is sufficiently softened up, so I'm thinking I might make an actual entrance here and pretty much wipe up the leftovers that my team has left me. Just getting another salvo from that really annoying Odin that nobody seems to want to do anything about. But he is a secondary priority. As long as he's out there, like, who really cares? He's just wasting his time and his ammunition. Again, I just fire my radar just in case. But of course there's no destroyers in the game, but might as well use it. It also allows me to see that the Yamato is just around the corner, and I'm trying to time this like surprise attack here with him showing his cheek. If you don't know, then the Yamato right under its B turret, if you can hit at the right angle right there, it's very easy to citadel this ship, and that's what I'm gonna do, or that's what I'm gonna try to do when I turn around this island here. But I have to time it. And unfortunately my radar ran out, so I'll just use my sonar instead. But I can see he's still in the exact position I want him to be in. So I'm going to take a little bit of a chance here and just pop around the corner and hopefully get a good shot at his sweet spot. And I do, and it's right there. And yes, we get an excellent citadel there. And that's the coup de grace for this team. Or actually, that probably happened a long time ago, because we're 8 versus 1 now. But anyway, what I wanted to really show with this video is on Sleeping Giant, just defend C. Just make the enemy use resources and time trying to take it, while you and your team take A and B. Now this map seems to be picked a lot by the wargaming server or whoever picks it, and it just makes it more enjoyable if you actually win on this map, of course. And like you see here, we did, and we came second. We did okay, but like I said, we mostly played the siege role. We didn't let anybody through, and that's what Alaska really excels at. Probably the only thing it really excels at, actually.